So on the technology front, Apple is getting ready to sorry about that. Apple is getting ready to release some new technology, and here we go. Time to look. So here's what's going on. WWDC saw a lot of things happen, and I know that I've been meaning to do some more technology. I started with one on the No Nonsense podcast, but now let's get into some Apple news. Apple released a whole lot of things with the iOS 14 update, the beta, and the iPadOS update. Not much. I know with iPadOS, one major thing that they fixed was Apple Pencil. They now made Scribble a thing where you can go into different text fields and you can, just write down whatever you need to. If you're in a notes file, you can now go into Pages. You can now annotate a photo, which you've been able to before. And of course, you can mark up a PDF. But now if you go onto Safari or Chrome or any other application that requires you to write, Scribble is now a thing, and it will turn it into typed text. That is the only thing I really noticed with iPadOS 14. And I mean, come on. It's kind of a shame for Apple to do that. Apple is set to go into its own in-house ARM processors, along with macOS Big Sur, where they are starting to make the design more like the iPad Pro. They announced that they're going to go into their own in-house processors. They went from PowerPC to Intel, which makes their processors. Now they're going to go into their own in-house processors, which they already do for the iPad. The iPad is one of the fastest devices I've ever owned. It's incredible. I really like it. I mean, honestly, it's quite quick. And the MacBook Pro 2020 on an Intel Core i5 processor, and the iPad the MacBook Pro 2020 and the iPad Pro 2020, they're a lot faster in terms of editing video and testing the processors. The iPad Pro is faster because they make their own chip. Now they're looking forward to do that with the Macs, and they are set to ship the first one by the end of this year, apparently, and it's supposed to be even faster. Now on to iOS 14, they are set to do a lot of things. First off, your calls, they're not going to take up your entire screen anymore. They're going to just appear as a notification, and you can swipe, and you can you can just ignore the call or answer the call or message or whatever. Siri is also not going to take up your entire screen. It's going to appear as a notification as well, which is going to be really nice. When you send a group text message, you can now do inline replies. So if I like someone's text message and I want to reply just to them or tell them something, or because I like to pull pranks, tell someone to make a weird noise or whatever, you can do inline replies, or you can tag someone in a message. You can actually do that. They're also allowing you to pin messages to the top, so you can pin 9 of your favorite text messages. Maybe your mom and your dad, maybe your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your cousin, your sister, your brother, your business partner, the donut shop. If they have text messaging, you can pin those to the top. They have, I'm not really sure what else with messages. They got 20 new Memoji styles and all of that. NFC, if your car has NFC, you can do car key, where you can share a key with someone. You can start your car and unlock your car without a key, which has been needed. The new BMW 2021 is going to have that. That's the first car apparently that has it. Those are just a few of the updates I could provide you. Now, with the Mac, they're going to make it look just like the iPad Pro design. They're bringing the control center and the notification center, which I think is freaking awesome. I love that. I love using the control center on my phone and on my iPad. That's going to be really cool. I really like that. Now, they're also set to make the bezels look a lot like the iPad, I heard, and make it more like the iPad design. Now, how about the iPhone? The iPhone 12 Pro is set to come with 5G. It's set to perhaps come with 120 hertz, which would be super awesome. Now, one big thing is that they are set to, rumor has it from John Prosser and others that Apple is not going to send the EarPods. Normally, when you get the iPhone, you get a set of EarPods for quote-unquote free. It's not really free. You actually pay for that within the iPhone price. And they're also not going to include the AC adapters. Those are the chargers that you use, the terrible 5-watt chargers, right? So they're not going to include those, but they are saying that, number one, they don't want to do a bunch of e-waste. So they're making the environmental argument that, look, we need to be environmentally friendly, and there's a bunch of e-waste going on because people who have iPhones or whatever they have, a lot of times they already have EarPods. They already have iPhones, chargers, right? So why include those kinds of chargers? Because Apple has to make them, because they manufacture them, assemble them, and then put them in the box and then send it out. Now, Apple doesn't really pay full retail price because of that. Your EarPods are $30. Your charger, that 5-watt charger, is $20, which that price should be lowered. Anyway, I'm not Apple, so I'm not going to dispute that. But there are bigger things like their business practices. But that's kind of what's set to happen, right? Now, you could buy the charger for full retail price at the Apple Store. They're set to come out with a new 20-watt charger. Okay, I'd be down for a 20-watt charger, although they kind of have a 32-watt. So, I think it's like 30 watts. So, I mean, okay. A lot of people are going to say, hey, I don't like that, right? It's like when they took away the headphone jack. Oh my God, oh no, you took it away. But then they included the adapter so that you could plug in your headphones that you already had, your earphones, EarPods, to the phone. And then they took that away. They took that adapter away. And people are like, oh my God. But they're also thinking of putting 5G on the new iPhone 12 Pro. Now, what you've seen with Android is they raised the price of their smartphones because they added 5G. Now, again, the Qualcomm modems cost a lot more. I mean, they're paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars more for those modems. And the in the phone chips. So now Apple makes their own chips, but they still need the modem. And unfortunately, they can't, I don't think they make their own. So they get them from Intel. Now, Android made iPhone prices look pretty low. They made them look reasonable, which normally iPhone prices are out of this world. You're stuck for 2 years paying off a damn phone. And so now Apple is now set to possibly make the price lower. They could keep the price the same. And I was watching Rene Ritchie. You can go check out his channel. He, and I'll leave the description in the link. He was basically saying, well, Phil Schiller could walk on stage and go, look, other companies raised their price because they put 5G. We left it the same. You're also not paying for EarPods. You're not paying for your charger. You already have a charger, so why would you pay for that? And Apple could be eating the costs of the charger. They could be eating the costs of the EarPods, although it's not much of a cost, right? The 30 and the 20, so that's 50. So now they could say, look, you get your iPhone $50 cheaper, and they stay the same as your current iPhone, and it has 5G, Wi-Fi 6, 120 hertz. Right? And they could maybe split the cost of the smaller models and all of that. And with the rounded edges and all of that. Now, you could see Apple possibly give a discount on the iPhone. Hey, you come in and buy an iPhone, we'll give you a charger or 10% off on your iPhone or your charger or whatever. Some kind of discount so that people are not feeling like, oh my God, you took something away from me. Oh, right? They could do that, but I'm not sure that they will. So, who knows what's going to happen? But those are some of the leaks that have happened from Apple. I'm excited for the iPhone 12. I'm excited for watchOS 7. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that. Sleep tracking. Yay. Finally on the watch. Oh, God. Finally. It's going to increase battery life. It's going to help track your sleep, and it'll calm you down. So it'll have like, it'll calm your phone down, lower the lighting, dim it, make it cooler. It'll start powering down, everything. And on your watch, it'll tell you the same thing. It'll tell you to charge it. And then it'll tell you when it's done charging on your phone. And then when you put your phone down, either it's going to play, soft music or a podcast or sounds or stay quiet like I would have it. And then you're going to have your watch, put it on, it'll monitor your sleep, and it'll monitor how many hours you're sleeping, it'll monitor what time you're going to sleep, it'll do all of that, and then it'll wake you up with, a nice little thing, and it'll say, hey, good morning, charge your freaking watch before you go to work or school or, to lunch or whatever. And then you're going to be able to share watch faces. If a website has a watch face already and you like it, if they pre-configure it, you can share it and you can make it your watch face. You can share a watch face to your contacts. They can share a watch face to you. That's really exciting. Now, they did not do the blood oxygen and they did not do a few other things, but they did include hand washing. So it'll monitor, it'll sense when you're washing your hands, when you're putting your soap on, it sounds really weird, and then you're washing your hands. It'll sense that you're washing your hands, and it'll say, oh, okay, great, you're washing your hands. Not bad. So then it'll say, okay, it'll tell you if you're washing your hands good enough, if you've reached the 20 seconds, if you need to wash a little more. Awesome. Now, it also helps with maps, and this is also on iOS and macOS. They're bringing better maps to that. They're saying that they're going to have cycling, where it's going to tell you if there are stairs, if there's an alternative route to stairs, if there's oncoming traffic, where are the nearest bike lanes, or EV, electric vehicle charging, where's the nearest one, according to your car. You can now save guides. So if you have a guide for I live in Las Vegas and we have a place called Downtown Summerlin and Town Square, and I live by Downtown Summerlin. So if I have a mall that I go to and I know all the places I like, I can have a guide. And there's a whole bunch of good things coming. I'm ready, and let's see what happens.